You ever notice how sometimes, no matter how much effort you're putting into leading a relationship, it just doesn't land? Like you're taking the wheel, mapping the route, but somehow she's still doubting the destination. Or worse, quietly pulling the handbrake. That tension, that dissonance, it's not always about you leading wrong. Sometimes it's that she hasn't earned your lead yet. Yeah, I said it. Let me walk this slow so it sticks. Masculine energy, true masculine energy, is not something you give freely. It's not an endless fountain to pour into anyone who simply wants it. It's a calibrated force. It's presence, direction, structure. And that kind of power demands reverence, not just reception. If a woman wants to be led, the first question is, does she deserve to be? Now I know that sounds harsh, but let's get real. Every man's been there. You start leading too early. You make plans, give clarity, invest effort, start shaping a world she hasn't proven she can thrive in. She resists, complains, pulls sideways. That's not leadership, that's charity. And leadership should never feel like charity. It's not your job to convince her to be led. It's your role to lead when she's already shown you she values your direction. So how do you know when to lead? You watch her, not just with your eyes, with your discernment. Does she respond to your structure with openness or with subtle rebellion? When you initiate, does she amplify or does she analyze and hesitate? A woman who deserves your lead will show you with her feminine surrender, not with words, but with flow, with softness, with trust. She doesn't challenge your every move. She fills the space you create. You don't lead a woman who fights leadership. You don't fight to lead. You offer direction and watch her relationship to it. If she resists it, you don't argue. You withdraw. That's the test, the pause, the moment where your masculine core meets its boundary. You step back, not in spite of your power, but because of it. Leadership without respect is servitude in disguise. Think about it like this. You wouldn't give your life savings to someone who mismanages money. So why give your masculine guidance, your time, attention, decisiveness, calm authority to someone who hasn't shown she can multiply it? Your leadership is an investment. Her response is the return. If it's chaos, resistance, dramatics, that's a loss. Pull out early. Now you might say, but she's strong, independent, she doesn't need to be led. Okay, then why are you there? If she doesn't need your energy, your frame, your vision, why are you pouring it in? You're not a backup generator for women who already think they're the power plant. You're not there to fight her for the wheel. You're there to drive, but only when she actually wants the destination. That's the problem. Too many men think leading is about always stepping up, always solving, always taking charge. No, leading is about discernment, knowing when your energy is welcome and when it's being drained. When you lead a woman who hasn't earned it, you become the villain in her movie. Everything you do is too much, controlling, overbearing. But when you lead a woman who's ready to follow, you become the king in her kingdom. She amplifies your power. She brings beauty to your order, and the relationship becomes a dance, not a tug of war. Let's make this practical. Let's say you're texting her and planning dinner. You suggest a place, a time, you make the reservation. If she flakes, questions it, changes the plans, don't double down, don't chase. That's not her rejecting the plan. That's her rejecting the frame. You made a move and she stepped outside of it. That's your cue to stop leading, not because you're offended, but because you're wise. Your masculine energy doesn't beg, it observes, and then it redirects towards someone who can receive it, receive. And let me be clear, this isn't about domination, it's about polarization. Masculine leads, feminine follows, not as status, as function. When the polarity is right, everything flows. When it's off, everything grinds. You don't force polarity, you discern it. You create space, you make decisions, you move with intention, and then you watch. Does she meet you in that rhythm? Does she respond with joy, curiosity, trust? Or does she pull away, test you, argue, undermine? Now here's the key tension. What if she sometimes follows and sometimes resists? You wait, you don't escalate, you don't coach, you don't convince, you watch for consistency. A woman worthy of your lead isn't on and off like a faulty switch. She values your energy. She knows what it costs, and she meets it with devotion, not debate. Quick story. A friend of mine met this woman who said all the right things, talked about wanting a strong man, direction, leadership. But every time he made a decision, she questioned it. Every time he offered structure, she added chaos. At first, he thought it was nerves. Then he thought it was miscommunication. Finally, he realized it wasn't that she couldn't follow. It's that she didn't want to. She liked the idea of being led, but not the reality of surrendering. That's the test most men fail. They get caught up in the words, but it's never about what she says. It's about how she reacts. Watch her behavior. That's the truth. Her response is your feedback loop. If your leadership makes her life feel heavier, not lighter, stop leading. You're in the wrong dynamic. Small beat here, let that land. You are not here to teach a woman how to follow. That's not your role. You're here to lead when she's already aligned. Your masculine energy is a gift. Your vision, your discipline, your fire, your focus, those are sacred. She gets access to those after she proves she can nurture them. Not before, not during, after. So the real question isn't when should I lead a woman? It's has she shown she can follow without resistance? Has she shown reverence for your mind, your direction, your decision making? Does she honor your time, your presence, your protection? If the answer is yes, lead boldly, lead fully, build the world, and invite her in. But if the answer is no, if she's chaotic, ungrateful, competitive, withholding, mocking, step back. Withdraw your masculine energy like you'd pull your funds out of a dying investment, not in anger, in sovereignty, in truth. You only lead where there is trust. You only pour where there is soil. So, if you're watching this right now, I want you to do one thing. Today, simple, clean. Go silent for 24 hours. No messages, no initiation. Just observe. See who comes toward you and who goes quiet. That's your answer. Leadership isn't something you do. It's something you are, but only where it's welcomed. Now you know when to lead and when to walk away.